Jay Buhner is not in the Hall of Fame, and he never will be. But so what? There have been over 20,000 players in Major League Baseball, and only 258 of them are in the Hall of Fame. That's just over 1%. The very, very elite of the already very elite. But if you watch my stuff, none of the guys I highlight are in the Hall of Fame, and that's intentional. That alone is not the litmus test for whether someone had a successful career or life. He had a 15-year MLB career, playing most of that time alongside Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey got pretty much all of the national fame, but he deserved it. I mean, the kid was something special, no doubt. But for every organization, there's always that fan favorite. And if you're lucky, he's also a clubhouse leader, that glue guy that brings the 24 men on a roster together as one. For the Seattle Mariners in the 1990s, that guy was Jay Buhner. Bone. My friend Dave is a hardcore Mariners fan. He's been all in since the franchise's inaugural game in 1977. You may know him as Vintage Dave T from YouTube. My favorite content of Dave's is his 4-part series on the first black players who integrated MLB. I hope you check it out if you haven't seen it. So Dave, thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate it, and happy to talk Mariners baseball, which is something that I'm not sure I've talked about a Mariner before, other than Dick Pohl. He was a Mariner, right?
Yep. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So I guess he counts. But why don't you take a minute and tell everybody? I'm assuming this is kind of a small community, and people who know me probably know you. But why don't you give us a little bit of your background and why the Mariners? Obviously, you live there, but why Jay Buhner in particular?
Okay. Well, I'll go back about 7-8 years before the Mariners, when the Pilots were in town, and I've lived in Washington all my life. But in '69, when they were actually in town, I wasn't in the state, so I missed out Major League Baseball. That would have been my first experience. So I was looking forward to 1970 and coming back and seeing the Pilots in my first Major League game, and they moved to Milwaukee, so that didn't happen. So 1977, I went to the very first Mariners game. My wife and I went, and April 6th or something, 1977. So I've been fans since then. So that's day one. And so over the years, we've seen a lot of bad baseball and a little bit of decent baseball.
Okay, and why Buhner?
I don't know. I think he was just a little bit of an edgy guy, and my sons were, I think, like teenagers in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And so and with all the grunge stuff going on in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he kind of fit that mold, with the shaved head, and it just was a fun personality, outgoing personality. He kind of had the Texas drawl, even though I understand he only moved there when he was like 14 or something. So how he picked that up in 5 or 6 years, I don't know. But anyway, he's just a fun guy. And we just loved to watch Jay Buhner, and he was a decent player too. So.
Yeah, apparently, for those of us that are outside of Seattle, I didn't really understand how much of a fan favorite he was. And obviously, everybody's probably seen Ken Griffey's speech and how much Ken Griffey loved Jay Buhner, calling him his brother from another mother. And
of all people that I would consider my brother from another mother, a guy who listens to country music, wears cowboy boots, big belt buckles. I got 17 speakers in a car, sweatsuits, rap music. Two people that are so far apart on every level became really close. There is no other person in this world, other than my parents, that if something ever happened to me or my wife, that I would want to raise my kids.
Jay was originally drafted in 1983 by the Braves, but they wanted to turn him into a pitcher. And Jay declined and was drafted the next year in '84 by the Pirates. He was then traded to the Yankees, where he worked his way up through the minors. He got a September call-up in '87, and in his debut, he was in the lineup with Hall of Famers Ricky Henderson and Dave Winfield, as well as potential Hall of Famer Don Mattingly. He was traded in July of '88 to Seattle for Ken Phelps, a trade that would be immortalized in Seinfeld.
My name is George Steinbrenner. I'm afraid I have some very sad news about your son.
I can't believe it. He was so young. How could this have happened?
Well, he'd been logging some pretty heavy hours. First one in the morning, last one to leave at night. That kid was a human dynamo.
Are you sure you're talking about George?
You are Mr. and Mrs. Costanza.
What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for? He had 30 home runs and over 100 RBIs last year. He's got a rocket for an arm. You don't know what the hell you're doing.
I always get a kick out of nicknames in sports, and usually there's a good story behind it. Jay's nickname was Bone. I asked Dave to tell a story of how Jay got his nickname.
Actually watched a podcast he was on with Dave Sims here in the last week, and he said that he was playing outfield in high school, and he put his arm up to shield the lights, I guess, or the sun. I think it was the lights, and the ball came down and kind of like hit him right in the middle of the forehead, and he said he was kind of knocked out, and so the coach came out, and maybe I'm mixing stories a little bit here, but ultimately, the coach said, "Good thing you have a hard head or a bone head or something like that." And so, and he said, "I'm going to start and I'm going to start calling you Bonehead." And he said, "Well, you can call me Bone if you want, but please don't call me Bonehead."
Jay was born in Kentucky, but his family settled in Texas, where Jay would play high school ball. After high school, Jay and two of his teammates went to play at McLennan Community College in Waco, Texas, right in the backyard of Matt from Straight Race Cards. Jay has said that there was a pact that he had with his high school teammates that they would go play college ball together, and McClellan was the place that allowed that dream to happen. On the face of it, you might be thinking community college, but that's the beauty of baseball. You don't have to go to a high-level SEC or Big Ten team to play high-level baseball and make it to the big leagues. In fact, McClellan has a rich history of turning out pros. Since 1974, there have been 90 guys drafted from McClellan, 16 of them making it to the majors. And while Jay was at McClellan, they won the Junior College World Series in 1983 under Coach Rick Butler. And Jay talks a lot about how hard it was to play for Coach Butler and how it shaped who he eventually became. Butler didn't tolerate anything but full effort and attention to detail, and it was tough, but in Jay's own words, minor league baseball was easy in comparison. If you listen to Jay talk for any length of time about the game, you realize how special he is. The guy you could count on with a man on second and nobody out to hit a ground ball to the right side and get the runner over. Buhner talks about the little things like that, which don't show up in box scores, and that's the kind of teammate guys want to play with. It's hitting the cutoff man. It's having an approach when you get to the plate and then adjusting when the count is against you. Beyond Coach Butler at McClellan, Jay also gives a lot of credit to Bucky Dent, who was his minor league coach at every level in the Yankees organization. And then also sings the praises of outfield coach Rusty Kuntz. I remember Rusty from the '84 Tigers, but Jay sings his praises as an elite outfield coach. It's always great to hear guys give credit like that to someone who doesn't get much praise.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very funny man. Please welcome from Seattle, Jay Buhner.
Here's one for you. Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Hey, why the long face?" Here's one for you.
Aren't you glad he decided to play right field for the Mariners instead? calls for season tickets.
On June 23 of 1993, Jay became the first player in Seattle Mariners history to hit for the cycle. He started with a grand slam in the first inning, capping it off with a triple late in the 14th.
Most complete early season. He has been a consistent 20 home run man, mid-20s. Deep to left center. A grand slam.
He's looking that way right now.
Here's a base hit over Blankenship. Sierra not able to cut it all the way to the wall. Buhner's got at least 2. He'll stop there. Also walked in a run. Here's a base hit for Jay Buhner. He's now 3 for 3. 3-2 pitch. Well struck. Well enough. Off the wall and ricochets past Blankenship. And Buhner's going for third. The throw is offline. He is on with a triple. Jay Buhner has just hit for the cycle.
Maybe you can shed some light on this too. I was reading about the, what did they call it? Buhner Buzz Cut Night.
Yeah.
That they had for almost a decade. Can you talk any about that? And did you ever partake in it?
Yeah, I have firsthand experience with that.
Yeah, tell me.
I am permanently buzz cut. But yeah, they would. This is back in the Kingdom days, and they'd invite people out to the parking lot, and anybody. They had like haircut specialists from some hair shop around, and with barber chairs, and it would be like, if you want to come to the game and get your head buzzed, we'll let you in free. And I think they put them all out in right field behind Jay Buhner, so there'd be a bunch of bald people behind Jay Buhner. And yeah, we went at least a couple of times, and one time was my youngest son, my second son, and it was a friend of my youngest son, and he was maybe, I don't know, maybe they're 10 at the time or something. And we took them to the game, and so we all got buzzed, and they said, "Hey, it's no fair. That guy shouldn't get into free hair. Gave free. He's already buzzed." So, but anyway, if you were bald or got buzzed, you got in. And this one little boy who came along with us, he got buzzed too. And evidently his parents didn't know it was buzz night and we were getting buzzed. So he got home, and I think there was a little bit of shock in the house that that the little 10-year-old cute little boy got buzzed.
Can't go with Mr. Dave T anymore to the games, huh?
Well, and I think Jay actually went out and would buzz a few people, at some of those as well. So it was just a cool thing.
Yeah, that is great. That's the kind of thing that makes baseball so cool.
Yeah, that and that's another thing that endeared him to the community as well. Just kind of being a regular guy in a way.
The Safeco Field sure is nice, huh?
Yeah, whatever. Can't beat playing out in the old sunshine. Some days, though, it can be really bright.
The Seattle Mariners. Ain't baseball great?
As an epilogue to the Buzz Cut Night in 2024, Jay came back to do it again, 23 years after the last Buzz Cut Night. He even cut Big Dumper's hair himself.
Look what you've helped create. What's your reaction to this?
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty crazy. And just goes to show you, the fans, they love their Mariner baseball. And it brings back great memories, fond memories. And it's pretty cool to see all these people, to see my ugly mug on a T-shirt and everybody's wearing it. It's pretty awesome. It's nice to be a part, nice to give back. And it's good to see the Mariners playing good baseball. So that has a lot to do with it as well.
Let's go back to '94. Do you remember sort of the evolution of this event, how it came about?
Yeah, it was Kevin Martinez, the brilliant mind of Kevin Martinez, who I love to death. But at the time, I wasn't loving him because I was like, no, this is corny. We're not doing this. Because you never know. I thought really and truly, I thought he was BSing at first because he's a practical joker. We were coming back from a road trip, and he goes, don't forget, it's on the calendar. And I go, don't forget what? And he goes, the Buhner Buzz. I said, good one. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, come on, Kevin. He goes, dude, it'll be awesome, I promise. I go, all right, I'll do it the first year. We'll see how it goes, and we'll adjust. He goes, that's all I ask. And the rest is history. Here we are 30 years later. So
I'll tell you what, I was told that if 609 people get their buzz cut today, that'll take it to 20,000 people in the 8th edition of this event. That's amazing.
And to tie it in, for years with Locks for Love, it's a really cool deal. And then, all the barbers showing up, volunteering, all these guys and gals, it's pretty incredible. So it's a special deal, and it touches. It's very flattering, and it's great to have my ego fluffed a little bit. But it does. I mean, great fans, great fan base, and the Mariners do it right.
Jay declined a chance to make more money in 1995 playing for the Orioles because he loved his teammates and felt like Seattle had a legitimate chance to win. That year, he hit 40 homers as Seattle won the AL West over the Angels. At the halfway point, Seattle was an even 41-41 and 8 games back. A month later, in the last week of August, they were a whopping 10.5 games back. Then Seattle went on a run that started with a players-only meeting, in which Jay reportedly got very vocal and demanded nothing short of complete sacrifice from his teammates. Most winning teams have that guy, that clubhouse leader willing to ruffle feathers and get the most out of everyone. Jay was not afraid to be that guy. And while Seattle got hot, the Angels got cold. California won 9 of 37 games from August 16 through September 26. The Angels would sputter, losing 22 of their final 33 games, while the Mariners won 23. There were 144 games in the season of 95 due to the 94 strike, and after 144 games, Seattle and California were tied. They had to play game 145 to determine the division winner. Randy Johnson threw a complete Game 3 hitter to win the division. Seattle then flew to New York after the game to open the ALDS against the Yankees. The Mariners lost the first 2 games but won 3 straight after returning home, winning Game 5 on Edgar Martinez's walk-off double in the 11th inning.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior Speed, the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my.
In the ALCS, Seattle lost to the Cleveland Indians in 6 games to end the postseason run. After he retired, he did some color commentary for the Mariners.
Yeah. He, I don't think he's ever been like a permanent commentator, color commentator, but at least even up till this year, he's still doing it. And for a while, for several years after he retired, they retained their residents in the Seattle area. So it was easy for him to go to the game, and you'll be scheduled in and stuff. But I understand now he's back in Texas.
Okay.
And now that their family's grown, and so he's back in Texas. And I think generally when the Mariners go to Houston or Dallas, for games, he'll join for some of those games, or maybe when he's back in town, he will get on a Mariners broadcast when they're in. When they're in Safeco. No, not Safeco. What's it called now?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a fun color guy. He's just that Jay just about say anything he wants. Have to put the have to put the governor on with a few words, but he's a good guy.
It's funny, locally, I'm in Atlanta, and locally, Jeff Francoeur he did a lot of our games, and
Yeah.
I know the guy who worked for, at the time it was Fox Sports South, and then it became Bally's, and now FanDuel. But he told me it's nothing short of a miracle that Francoeur can get through a broadcast without dropping the F-bomb. Because in real life, it's like every sentence has it. So, yeah. So you had mentioned Safeco and T-Mobile Park, and I thought it was interesting because I recently watched the Netflix documentary on the Expos. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen it. No,
it's an interesting documentary. If you have Netflix, it's worth checking out. And
yeah.
One of the things that they talk about, that when the Expos left, it was essentially boiled down to that they couldn't get a stadium deal. They couldn't build a new stadium. And,
right.
It went up to the electorates, and they voted against it. They voted against tax breaks and things for the stadium. And so I was reading that the same thing happened with the Kingdome. When Seattle wanted to replace the Kingdome, they put it up for a vote, and the public said, no, I don't think so. Yeah. And Seattle ended up finding another way to help fund it by selling bonds to fund the purchase or the construction of Safeco. And that was interesting because I'm not really a money guy. I'm an engineer, and my wife is a CPA. So I was asking her, like, how does that work? And she explained it to me like I'm a dummy, because I am a dummy. And it makes me wonder why the Expos didn't try something like that, or maybe things are different in Canada. But
right.
Do you remember so you obviously you were there for the Kingdome, and you saw the beginning of Safeco, now named T-Mobile. What was it like with the stadium thing? Did you ever feel like there was a threat of the Mariners leaving?
Yeah. Well, going back, I actually saw the Kingdome built. I worked downtown Seattle, and the view from our office was one of the Kingdome. To actually see it go up from the ground level up. So it always kind of blew me away that, 25 years later, they were imploding it.
Yeah, they don't last long, do they?
No, but yeah, they were not drawing very well. The Mariners were not drawing very well. The team had not been a winner since day one, I don't think. And they were seriously talking about going to Tampa Bay. And
okay.
And I think Jay Buhner also tells of, they were actually, the team was providing information about housing in Tampa, and
wow.
So it was to that point, and that was I believe that was 1995, and that is that's the refuse to lose Mariners. Okay. And I think Jay Buhner was one of the drivers, or maybe was the driver, because they started putting up in the Kingdome. They put up signs like going for the playoffs, going for the wild card, and stuff like that. And Jay Buhner told them, take the wild card stuff down. We're not aiming for the wild card. And this was back in like August, and they were like 12, 13 games out. And they said, take the sign down, get rid of it. And so they ended up moving it somewhere sort of that it wasn't real noticeable. But Jay Buhner was one of the refuse to lose guys, and we're going for first place. And in the end, they tied the Angels. At the end, they had a 1-game playoff. It was in the Kingdome. And I forget the final score, was like 9-1. Randy Johnson, I think, did a complete game. But after that, it really drew the community in, and they had much more success than coming up with levies to build a new ballpark.
I'd read that. I think that was the year where Jay Buhner called a players only meeting and basically laid it all out, and they got together as a team. It's funny how, so you need that leader in the clubhouse, and I never really understood or appreciated clubhouse dynamics when I was younger.
Right.
But now I'm so in tune with everything that's going on with the Braves, and I get frustrated sometimes because Alex Anthopoulos won't sign this guy or won't sign that guy. But a lot of times it's not even necessarily statistics; it's clubhouse fit. And
This year, our pitchers get to hit in National League ballparks, so I'm working with them with a little extra BP. There you go. Look at that one. Stay back. Whoa. Get your hands up just a little bit higher, Jeff. Try to wait as long as you can, Scott. That's the one. Stay back a little bit, Jamie. Hey, I gotta tell you, they're looking pretty good. Hey, bring it down. Throw them strikes, would you?
Sorry, Mr. Buhner.
The 97 Mariners. You gotta love these guys.
Jay Buhner is not in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, but he is in the Seattle Mariners Hall of Fame, one of only 11 people in the organization's hall. He's joined by Felix Hernandez, Ichiro Suzuki, Jamie Moyer, Ken Griffey Jr., Lou Piniella, Dan Wilson, Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson, Alvin Davis, and announcer Dave Niehaus.
And if you look at his numbers, I mean, he was a really good player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a 3-year stretch where he had 40, 44, and 40 home runs. And that was I think his all-star year was 95 or 96. Won a Gold Glove. So, yeah, they definitely got the better end of the trade between him and Ken Phelps. But
yeah, well, in those 3 years, 95 to 97, he hit more home runs in Major League Baseball than anybody.
Oh, wow.
And I think Griffey was second, was okay. 2 behind Jay. So, I mean, that's how good he was during that short period. And I think eventually his body kind of gave out. If you think about playing on the Kingdome artificial surface for 13, 14 years, I think that just takes a toll.
Yeah, no doubt. In the way he played, he was, for lack of a better phrase, balls out. So,
yeah,
I do think that turf. I remember hearing Andre Dawson talk about how beat up he was from playing in Montreal, and when he got to Chicago, how playing on that grass he thinks extended his career significantly. What was the origin of the name Kingdome? Was that named after a company, or is that what I don't understand? King, where does that come from?
Well, King is the name of the county in which Seattle is located.
Okay.
And originally it was a man with last name King, and I couldn't tell you his name. I think
not Martin Luther.
Well, later on they have moved from that original guy, way back when, to Martin Luther King, and I don't know if that's official or not, but like there are some major there's a major thoroughfare that's now Martin Luther King Way, but yeah, it's King County.
Okay, now I get it. What's your take on? I already know this because nobody likes corporate names of stadiums, but I mean, when I was doing some research for this call, I still thought it was called Safeco. I didn't even know they changed the name.
Right.
So I can't stand it, man. I like Fenway and Wrigley, not Truist, which is what we are, Truist.
Right.
It's like Truist is terrible.
Right. But, no, I don't know. I guess it's just maybe what it has to be for some clubs, small market clubs. They can't just call their stadium Yankee Stadium or something because they have all the money in the world anyway. So, why?
Yeah, I'm going to push back on that though, Dave, because none of these owners are hurting for money. This is a business where, even Nutting in Pittsburgh, you can basically do nothing and make money. That he's not even trying, and
no.
His franchise is like, every couple of years is doubling in value. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, we've always thought that about the Mariners too, because up till this last season, they spent some money to bring in a couple of ringers, if you will, and it turned out to work out just enough to put them over the top and actually put on a little run at the end. But normally up till then, they just kind of run with what they have and bring another minor leaguer up and hope for the best. And
if you know anything about me, you know that I collect baseball cards and specifically vintage baseball cards. I'm really not into modern stuff at all. And by modern, I mean anything after really the mid 80s. But I wanted to give Dave a chance to share any Jay Buhner stuff that he might have. Dave, are you a Jay Buhner collector, or is that too modern for you?
I am, yeah, I collect Griffey stuff. I just kind of happened into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I come across a Griffey card or something, I just keep it and keep it. And so I've been doing that. And then I guess I wouldn't say I'm a super collector of Jay Buhner stuff, but if I run across a card, I'll collect it. And so I don't know, I probably have 20 of his cards or more. And then it's funny, you were talking about his relationship with Ken Griffey is that I found just in my collection, there are like 5 cards that I have that are Buhner and Griffey on the same card. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just show one if it'll.
Okay.
There's Buhner's back to you.
What is
That's
that?
a Griffey. What is this card?
Yeah.
Ultra, I think, whatever that means. That's a modern card.
Yeah.
And then there's a Jay Buhner card that has Griffey on it.
Nice.
And this looks like an upper deck card, probably 93. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's these cartoon.
Where's that from?
These are called The Play, and I don't know. So on the back they have some sort of what's the call, and then it was then there's some description of some play on the back, and
I haven't seen those before.
So these are upper deck cards as well, and 90 something or other. Pardon me, I pull out my magnifying glass. Looks like Keith Lonely Basement, 95 upper deck.
Okay.
Anyway, just kind of funny. Buhner and Griffey on the same card.
Oh, that's supposed to be Jay is the Blue Jay?
Well, I think it's not a Blue Jay. It's just, what is that? Oh, I think I must be talking about a bird hits the ball hits a bird, and maybe then what do you call it? I don't know exactly.
What's the answer?
Well, I didn't read the whole thing. Cal Ripken Jr. rips a Randy Johnson curve, and the ball is on its way out of Camden Yards. However, before going over the fence, the ball hits a wayward seagull. Jay Buhner catches the bird, and Griffey Jr. picks the ball up off the ground and fires to second, where Ripken is tagged out. Is tagged. What's the call?
Is it a dead ball when it hits the bird? What's the deal?
I'll turn the card over to get the answer.
Wait. What's your guess?
I would say, probably dead ball, and he's probably awarded. Yeah, probably awarded maybe a double.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Okay, I got it turned upside down. This is slow. Oh no! What the heck? Is it right side up? Oh, it's in. Hold the front of the.
Oh, you got to hold it to a mirror. Oh,
that's. There, you can take a picture of that and and do it yourself. I don't know. Okay. I don't have any mirrors in my office here, so I don't know. I guess we'll all have to. It's you can go on eBay and look for the card number 88 of Upper Deck.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that.
No,
leave you in suspense.
Funny. What was the other Stumpy card?
This one?
Yeah. What's the question on that one?
An outstanding defensive play can really inspire a team. When a pair of superstars combine to make a great defensive play, it can do wonders for teammates. Ken Griffey Jr. doesn't need others to help him with the defense. However, what if teammate Jay Buhner decided to boost Griffey's confidence a little? Is Buhner backing up his outfield mate properly? I'm not sure I even get that. I think it's like boosting him up.
Oh, are they asking if it's a legal thing?
Legal. What's a call? Out if a player holds on to ball. Credit batter with ground rule single. Outfield interference. Players ejected. Umpire declares play legal or illegal.
Oh,
I don't
I don't know. I think it's asking if Jay Buhner picked up Griffey to catch a ball. Like,
yeah, Jay Buhner decided to boost Griffey's confidence a little.
Yeah, I would think that would be legal, but who knows?
Yeah,
we'll find out. I'll have to find the card, put it in reverse, and come up with the answer.
That's card 216.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about leaving you in suspense.
No, I think that's
anyway. Those are kind of
interesting
fun little things I found, and I probably bought them on eBay or ComC just because I saw them and Griffey and Buhner. Well, when I first thought of Jay Buhner and what came to mind, I have like 3 or 4 things that I kind of thought of. One was a play that I remember watching, live on TV, where he fielded a ball that was a fair ball down the first baseline. It went to foul territory, and back in the Kingdoms, they had the warm up mounds. The bullpen mounds were actually in foul territory, just outside the first base and third base lines.
Oops. Hold on, Dave. I messed up.
It's okay.
Solo layout. This is what I wanted.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's a ball down the first baseline, and I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, somebody hit a ball. Actually, it was Fernando Vina. I actually went back and found the video where he comes up over the top of the mound, running in from right field. Runs in, fields the ball as it's kind of like going over the mound. So he's coming up over the mound, and he fires a frozen rope to third and nails him at third. And it was just, the image of him coming up over the top of the mound and throwing. The video that I saw doesn't do it justice because it doesn't have the kind of the lead up to that. But that's something worth watching.
Sylvania to second base. He'll make the turn there. He's got a chance to make it to third. The throw from right field by Buhner is in time. He got it! What a throw by Jay Buhner!
The other one was a home run he hit in Yankee Stadium that was hit at least 100 feet over the left center fence, almost over center field. And in an old Yankee Stadium, there was an ambulance parked way out there, and it hit the ambulance. And at first they said it was like 502 feet, and then they officially called it like 491. And Reggie Jackson was there that day, evidently, and told Jay, "Yeah, that was easy, 500 feet."
And the 0-1 on the way by Norman, and a fastball swung on, lined into right field for a base hit. Here comes JT around third. The throw to the plate, it is going to be in time, and Marzano hangs on to the ball. My, oh my, what a throw by Buhner. Unbelievable. They had snow by 5 feet. All John Marzano had to do was hold on to the baseball, and he did, standing up, and we are still tied at 10.
Well, Dave, thanks for your time.
Yeah, this is fun.
Appreciate it. What do you think, Chuck?
Ready to go in?
Throw it about to your right. Oh, he's not done.
Too cold for me, Buster.
Oh, little afternoon treat.
Come on.
All right, Chuck, come on.